Hey everyone, welcome back to Azim USA YouTube channel, where we break down important global issues. Today, we're diving into the recent and dramatic decision by Israel to close its embassy in Ireland. What led to this bold move, and what does it mean for the future of Israeli-Irish relations? Stick around as we unpack everything you need to know. Let's start with some context. Israel's relationship with Ireland has always been a bit rocky, primarily because of differing views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Over the years, Ireland has taken a vocal stance in favor of Palestinian rights, which hasn't gone down well with Israel. The latest developments, however, have brought these tensions to a boiling point. So, why did Israel close its embassy in Dublin? To understand this, we need to look at a series of recent events that have escalated the situation. First, Ireland's decision to formally recognize a Palestinian state earlier this year was a major flashpoint. While Ireland saw this as a commitment to international law and peace, Israel viewed it as a hostile act. In fact, this move even led Israel to recall its ambassador from Dublin at the time. This recognition wasn't just symbolic. It sent a clear message about where Ireland stands in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and Israel did not take it lightly. Another major factor was Ireland's decision to support South Africa's petition at the International Court of Justice. This petition accuses Israel of genocide, specifically pointing to its military actions in Gaza. Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister went as far as to call these actions collective punishment of the Palestinian people. To Israel, this wasn't just criticism. It was seen as a blatant attempt to delegitimize and demonize the Jewish state. Israeli officials labeled these actions as anti-Semitic and accused Ireland of crossing all diplomatic red lines. Ireland has also been one of the most vocal critics of Israel's conduct in Gaza. Irish leaders have repeatedly called for a ceasefire, condemned the collective punishment of Palestinians, and demanded increased humanitarian aid. While Ireland views this as advocating for human rights, Israel sees it as biased and unfair. So, with all of these actions combined, Israel's decision to close its embassy in Dublin starts to make sense. But what does Israel have to say about this decision? According to Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, Ireland's policies represent extreme anti-Israel rhetoric and a pattern of delegitimization. He also announced that Israel will now focus its diplomatic efforts on countries that share its views. In fact, as part of this shift, Israel is planning to open a new embassy in Moldova, which is considered more supportive of Israeli policies. On the other side, Ireland has expressed deep regret over Israel's decision. Irish leaders, including Taoiseach Simon Harris, have insisted that their stance is not anti-Israel, but rather pro-peace and pro-human rights. They've emphasized their commitment to a two-state solution and the protection of civilians in Gaza. Ireland's actions, such as supporting the ICJ case, are framed as efforts to uphold international law, not to antagonize Israel. But clearly, these justifications haven't been enough to ease tensions. So, what does this mean for Israeli-Irish relations and global diplomacy? For one, the closure of the embassy limits direct communication between the two nations. It also sends a strong message to other countries about Israel's diplomatic priorities. But this move could also isolate Ireland further in the international community, especially among nations that support Israel. It's a clear sign of how polarizing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains on the global stage. The closure of Israel's embassy in Dublin highlights the deep divisions between these two nations. Ireland's pro-Palestinian stance, while rooted in its commitment to human rights, has been perceived by Israel as hostile and unfair. As the dust settles, the question remains: can these two nations find a way to bridge their differences, or will this diplomatic rift widen even further? What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think Ireland's actions are justified, or has Israel made the right call? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global issues. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.